Hey, what is going on, crypto people? This is what, stream number two, live stream two. Let's go. Let's go, Pookie Pookie. Life is good. So listen, the time blockchain, could this be the use case study for the XRPL? Given the history, given the history of the open network and Telegram, could this be the roadmap for the XRPL? We're going to get into it. I'm going to get over into DeFi Llama and share some stuff, share some stats, talk about that a little bit. I find it to be a little fascinating when I went to take a look over there. Some interesting stuff. So, in any case, we're going to go over a post from Dark Horse just for a little bit. More use case utility for the FLR tokens with Kinetic. We're going to go over our guys Dan Rocky's post. And I thought this is an interesting thing. I didn't put this in the title or the thumbnail, but the XRPL got an X, got a red mark. Got a red mark for not being scalable, programmable, decentralized, permissionless governance and permissionless. We'll go over this post on X from Justin Bonds and see if it's a valid point. Doesn't mean that it doesn't change the prowess of the XRPL, but we'll see if it's a valid point. We'll get into that as well. Again, the market is doing, family, what the market does. And sure, we'll go over the numbers. We'll go over the numbers. Thanks, Gary's in the building. Jungle Link is in the building. How are you, bro? Jungle says, second stream of the day. Sounds like I got another break from hard work. I hear you, my guy. I hear you. I hear you. I appreciate you checking in. Oh, yard work. Oh, yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan of the yard work, bro. Thanks, Gary says, let's go. Indeed. Indeed. Let's get into it. Look, we'll go over the numbers market is doing, what the market does. But I do think that the open network, the time blockchain, Telegram Group Inc. I think about the history of this lawsuit. Remember, Telegram Inc. took the L. They took the L in their lawsuit versus the SEC. And look at where they are now. Look at where they are now. We're going to get into that. We'll show some numbers because the numbers tell us the whole story. We'll get into those numbers. We'll get into those numbers because, again, they tell us the whole story. I'm going to try to go to TradingView. Hold on a second. Oh. Okay, sorry about that, fam. So, I think it's a good use case study. I really, really do. I looked today, I found some fascinating numbers about the open network. I went over to their white paper. I usually don't go read over people's white papers, but it's interesting. Why? Lawsuit. And you compare the results of the lawsuit, and then you check what happened after the lawsuit. Why not us? Is what I say. What I say is, why not us? If the time blockchain did it, can't we? I'm going to share some very interesting numbers, Jungle. Some fascinating numbers. Because remember, the numbers tell us the whole story about you. Right now, the XRP entertaining content creators, they just want to tell you a story about XRP, Ripple, and the XRPL. The reality is the numbers tell us the whole story. That's the reality. What's going on, Crawfish? How are you, bro? Good to see you. Appreciate you checking in. Thank you. Tell us the whole story, man. All right, so what are we going to go over first? Should we go over this interesting post from Justin Bonds? XRPL got the X. Didn't get the green check for governance, decentralization, scalability, programmability. That's interesting to me. That is really, really, really interesting to me. All right, let's go over the numbers on CoinGecko real quick. We'll go over the numbers on Banter Bubbles. Let me know if you want to if you got an asset you feel like is giving you year-over-year returns, and I'll put it into the cryptoverse for you, and we'll check it out. We'll see what's good. What's going on, Master Easy? How are you, bro? But first, let's go to CoinGecko. Do over these numbers real quick. I mean, BTC is kind of, market's doing what it does, I was looking at the open network coin today. Interesting. 16. Anyway, let me go to CoinGecko. Hold on a second. I don't know. I'm just saying, think about the possibilities, is what I'm saying. I'm thinking about the possibilities. All right, so according to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is 2.22 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is really around 57%. If you ask the people from Bankless, you ask Ryan, you ask David, they say it's 57%. All right, Bitcoin is trading at $60,864 again. On 30-day, Bitcoin is up 6%. Ethereum is trading at $2,600 again. And on the 30-day, it's down 16%. Solana is at $154 again. And on the 30-day, it is up 12%. XRP is 58 cents. And on a 30-day, it's up 30% on the 30-day. It's killing the game on the 30-day. It's killing the game on the 30-day. It's killing the game. I'm going to try to go as fast as possible here because I got to get to the Patreon. I haven't been on the Patreon in a bit. I got to get to it. So Sui, Crypto Eddie joined the Sui family. Crypto Eddie joined the Sui family. Welcome, Crypto Eddie. Welcome. She saw these numbers and she's like, I'm in. Welcome. Sui is at 91 cents. Look at all the greens on the 1 hour. On the 24-hour, up 8% roughly. On the 7-day, up 50%. On the 30-day, up 21%. What's going on? What is it that they know? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but those are some interesting numbers. There's got to be something going on for that kind of stuff. I don't totally like the numbers for Sui as far as the FDV, that high FDV. I don't, not excited, but like Raul Paul says, demand is demand. There's helium again, 7-day, 46%. On the 30-day, it's 110%. This is painful to share it, but I got to share it. It's painful because I don't have any helium tokens. But those are some numbers that Web 2, by way of Web 3 play, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the Web 2 via Web 3 play. Got a new name for it. Helium token, Internet of Things, Helium Mobile, doing their thing, grabbing market share, putting in some work there. Man. I don't know. I think after this run, I may just get a hot spot or two, find a way to put some hot spots in some other places and earn some tokens. Looks like they got some market share. It's only $1 billion market cap. Out there and doing their own thing in their own lane. I kind of like it. Anyway, not financial advice. I'm just thinking out loud for moi self. All right, so there's the numbers there. Let's go over this post, Jungle, from Justin Sons. This is an interesting post. I don't know how accurate it is. We'll just go over it together and see what's good. So here's Justin Bonds. He has a tendency to, kind of do things like this. I think he's not a big Solana fan, or is he not a big ETH fan? I think he's not a big ETH fan. and maybe not even a Bitcoin fan. But anyway, let's take a look at what he's got going on here. He says blockchain should be scalable and programmable. Decentralization is also critical. This is according to him. It's just some food for thought, something to go back and forth and have a little banter about. Decentralization is also critical. Two factors are governance and permissionlessness. Permissionlessness. Unfortunately, out of the top 100, according to Justin, only 13 meet these 4 criteria. What's the criteria though? You didn't list the criteria. All right, so I guess he's saying scalable, programmable, and decentralized, and 2 factors are governance and permissionlessness. So I guess those are the 4. So let's see here. To take a look at this list, yeah, we'll take a look at this list. So it says these 4 criteria, but they don't really, I don't know, is it scalable, programmable, has governance, and is permissionless? I guess that's it. So look at this. Solana gets a check mark. The open network, Time blockchain, Tron. Huh. Decentralization? I mean, I don't know. AVAX gets the check mark. Near gets it. ICP, Aptos gets the check mark. SUI gets the check mark. Phantom blockchain, Say blockchain gets the nod. EGLD, formerly known as Elron Gold, gets the check mark. Interesting. And then Tezos for those things. But none of these besides Solana. So anyway, how many did he say there were? 13 out of the 100. Huh. All right. EOS? I mean, what the? EOS? Really? Anyway, now it's time. It didn't say popular or being used. I guess, I don't know. Now it is time for the disclaimers. For scalability, I counted all chains that are capable of exceeding 1K max theoretical TPS. Simple, 1-to-1 transaction. For programmability, I counted all chains that have a Turing-complete VM. For on-chain governance, I counted all chains with formalized on-chain voting systems. That's not why we got the X right there. Even if they are still at an early stage of development. For permissionless, I made it a binary option. Unlike other factors that do exist on a spectrum, for this, you can look up the individual critiques I did for those chains. A green check does not count as my endorsement. It simply means it passes these objective criteria. However, a red cross does not, or does imply a critique, as it implies that the chain is missing some critical features. This might be frustrating for some, as they put a simple red cross behind their hopes and dreams, maybe even judging someone's life work so briefly. However, we do need some objective standards in crypto. Otherwise, the consumer will remain lost in a sea of narratives where everything is unique and nothing can be compared. Well, any other challenge with this is there's stuff that might get those check marks that are outside of the 100. So in your favorite chain, if your favorite chain got a red cross, maybe consider pushing for improvements instead of attacking the messenger. Alternatively, by the way, no one says this guy is, judge, jury and whatever else they say for, giving stuff green check marks or X's. Just something to banter back and forth about here. If your favorite chain got a red cross, maybe consider pushing for improvements instead of attacking the messenger. Alternatively, you might not think scalability, decentralization, or programmability is important. I obviously strongly disagreed, but people have different priorities. I have spent plenty of time arguing for these principles and other threads, which you can easily look up. We should maintain a pluralist approach, as our loyalties should lie in the underlying principles, not any individual chain. I agree with that one. Becoming a maximalist totally blinds us to the competition. So remain diversified, says Justin, not just financially, but also intellectually. If you want any clarification or disagree, let me know below. I will be happy to engage with you on this one. I'm going to put this link in the chat so you guys can check it out and add your views. We should also view this list positively, as it still represents a massive improvement over only a few years ago. Wow. Of course, there is still plenty of room for improvement, but at the same time, we can celebrate some degree of success here. I'm eternally grateful that Satoshi's original vision is being realized, even if it is not under Bitcoin's name. For better or for worse, that does at least provide smart investors a once in a lifetime opportunity to play the contrarian. That is where making money and fighting for what you truly believe in align, as that is also what makes crypto such a unique beast, a righteous bull, eternally raging for our freedom. I gotta say, overall, that post is about a 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. One guy had a challenge with the TPS right here. Spark Universe said, my scalability qualifications would be 10,000 PPS minimum transactions per second, minimum 10,000. How else could you support mainstream use? Justin responds, he says, I do not agree, but that list would be a lot more boring in that case, as only 2 chains have that sort of capacity now. I happen to own both of these. Well, I happen to own one of those anyway. TON blockchain, interestingly enough, and EGLD. Interesting. Only 2 chains have that sort of capacity now. Waited too late. Take a look at Fire Dancer. If they do Fire Dancer right, I don't know, Jump right now. Jump trading, jump venture, whatever. It's 2 different jumps. I mean, they're the same, but 2 different parts of it. You know, with this issue with that carry trade right now, I don't know. So anyway, we're Fire Dancer. They're the client, I think, for Fire Dancer. 2 chains only, the Open Network and EGLD. Let me put this in the chat for you guys, and you guys can respond. Again, my thing here is I would respond, there's some stuff out top that's outside of the top 100 you should consider. In fact, I'll just do that now. Wait a minute. Well, where is Flare? Before I even post something and look kind of stupid, where is Flare? I don't even know where they stand. Before I say something that ain't true, where is Flare? There's number 90. So, I don't know what the TPS on Flare, but I would think that Flare Networks would get in that top 100, wouldn't it? Let me know what that TPS is showing for Flare. I mean, I guess we could look at the docs real quick, but yeah, all right, so. So I can't post that. Flare is in the top 100. Yeah, is Flare on here? Did he just give it an X? So he's basically saying, yeah, is he saying, why would you get an X? If you don't make one of the four, you would get an X, or two out of the four would get an X? How do you get an X? And why would you not just list all of the top 100 and then give an X or a green? How do you go from 86 to 91? What about 87, 88, 89, and 90? I'm confused by that. So anyway, I'll put this in the chat for you guys. But I would think that FLR, unless that TPS is not there, would meet that, wouldn't you think? Pookie? I would think FLR would meet that. Let me put that in the chat if you guys want to respond. When you think so, pay me an XRP that FLR would be in that. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. If you didn't do so, no worries. Just collapse the chat, smash the like, and go hit that like button. That would be super, super awesome. Jen Lee says, I like the number. I liked the numbers before. Oh, I liked the numbers before Powell started tweeting about Sui. Yeah. I know, right? EOS. 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 I don't know. EOS on there. What's going on, Paul Bogo? Pay me an FXRP says, yeah, Flair gets no respect, I guess. Yeah, just again, I don't know. He went from 86. He's jumping around in the numbers. Like, how do you get on the list? If it's the top 100, wouldn't you go through every single 100 and just X them? Like he's skipping numbers. So I don't get it. Here and accounted for says payment XRP. What's going on, bro? Bank Money XRP says on deck. Kinetic has been good to me so far. My only complaint is that after I wish that I showed your liquidation price, after you borrowed instead on a generic countdown, as that doesn't give you the exact liquidation price. We're going to take a look at it together. I haven't done anything, but I got some SFLR and a little bit of WFLR, about $80 or so worth. We'll go hang out there a little bit on Kinetic and see how it is. Not a fan right now of the UI UX. I don't like the colors, but that's just me. But we'll see how smooth it is or is not. Bank Money XRP said, I only borrowed 16% of my total collateral. Still, I'm not smart enough to figure out the equation to tell me my exact liquidation price. Well, does it give you your borrow? First of all, each collateral should have a limit, right? It'd be 60% borrow, 80% borrow, right? Because every asset is going to be weighed differently. Every collateral asset will be weighted differently. Some collateral you can borrow more against than others. That's a better way of putting it. So that should be on there, right? So Bitcoin, 60%, FLR, 70%, stable coins, 80%, right? You can borrow an LTV of 80% of the value. That should be on there. But also it should have a little like monitor that says you borrow this amount and you're at 40% of what you can borrow based upon the collateral. That's what it should be saying. And so it should have the beginning and the end of your borrow thing. And it should go up from 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 60%. Or if it's a stable coin, 10%, 30%, you borrow 40%, you borrow 60%, you're coming close to 80% of the borrowing. That's what it should say. Again, I looked at it a couple of times, not a fan of the UI UX. I don't like pink, purple. That's just me. But we'll look at it again today and see what's good. P super low supply, unaware. What's going on, B? B says, I think they do. Okay, so we'll take a look at it together. I'll do some either wrap or SFLR on that thing and see what's good. B says they have a health factor. So, all right, we'll take a look at it together and see what's good. I appreciate you guys checking in. Please do me a favor and hit that like button. It's one of the greatest ways to support the channel. And if you happen to be hanging out, watching, and listening to the Crypto Series and you haven't subscribed yet, if you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. Paul Bogo checked in. All right, so you guys want to hear my my little thesis for the open network time? Could this be a roadmap for the XRPL? Could this be Telegram? They did an ICO. How many remember that when they did that ICO? Jungle, you remember? You remember when Telegram did an ICO? Anybody remember the numbers after they took the L? They took the L. They took an L on that massively. Disgorgement and penalty, civil penalty fines. They took an L on that one. We'll share it. I think this is a great use case example of what's possible for the XRPL. So first, let's take a look at this ChatGPT here, because I was wanting to get a little bit of a timeline. Auntie Val's in the building. How are you, miss? I appreciate you checking in this afternoon or this evening. So I asked GPT. I guess I could have asked Google or pre-search. But so I said, hi, can you tell me when the SEC sued Telegram Group Inc. for their securities violations? It says United States Securities and Exchange Commission sued Telegram Inc. on October 11, 2019. October 11th of 2019. So that was a year before we got sued for conducting an unregistered securities offering in violation of securities law, blah, blah. The lawsuit was related to Telegram's sale of its digital token known as grams, which were issued as part of the company's Telegram Open Network blockchain project. The SEC argued that the sale of grams constituted an unregistered securities offering because Telegram raised $1.7 billion from investors in the United States and abroad without complying with the necessary registration requirements under the Securities Act, blah, blah, blah. The SEC sought to prevent Telegram from delivering the grams to investors and to stop further violations of the securities laws. So I just want you to think for a second. Imagine the holders. Imagine the holders. Imagine the drama. United States government going after them. Very, very similar to the SEC versus Ripple case. Very similar. Now, the case is not similar, but the holders of this gram token, it's kind of similar, right? It's kind of similar. So cloud on title. It's a couple of differences. This thing got over really, really quick. Okay, this lawsuit started in 2019 and it ended in 2020. So it got over kind of quick. I mean, no, not kind of quick. It got over really, really quick. But for the company behind the blockchain, this legal action led to a significant legal battle. I don't know if that's a significant battle. October 7-month battle is if that's a significant battle. What does almost a 3-year battle look like? This legal action led to a significant legal battle, which ultimately resulted in Telegram agreeing to return $1.2 billion to investors and pay $18.5 million civil penalty in June of 18 million. First of all, I just kind of, I don't know. Well, you tell me how similar these numbers are. They had to pay, which is essentially disgorgement of 1.2 billion. They had to return it. Right? 1.2 billion. They raised 1.7 billion. They had to return 1.2 billion. That's a hit. I don't know. Thank God they didn't do anything with the money, I guess. And then 18 million in the civil penalty. Some differences, some similarities. It says here that part of the agreement was Telegram was going to terminate the Time blockchain project as part of the settlement. Yet in 2021, they relaunched. In 2021, they relaunched the open network based on the work of Dr. Nikolai Durov. July 26, 2021. This is the white paper. The open network is fast, secure, and a scalable blockchain network project capable of handling millions of transactions per second if necessary, and both user-friendly and service provider-friendly. I'm not going to read it, but I just wanted to show you it's here. The Time blockchain has a collection of 2 blockchains. It's there for your reading. Feels eerily similar. Just a little bit of disgorgement, some penalty, right? Sued by the United States government. Now, obviously, they're not exactly the same. I mean, the SEC versus Ripple took forever, right? I mean, it took forever, years, right? Years, took forever, years. But for the holder, for the community of people wanting to build there, for the users that wanted to do something there, that's cloud on title. Now, it lasted for 7 months. But then in 2020, what are the users thinking? Is something else coming? Is something else not coming? I mean, did they walk away? I mean, it's not a great look. It's not a great look, right? So 2 differences for sure. I mean, 7, 8 months versus years. I mean, that's a big difference. Ripple did not pay any disgorgement. So that's a big difference, which ultimately legally means there was no harm to investors. Telegram agreed to the disgorgement, which technically means there was harm to investors. But if you're returning 1.7 billion out of 1.9 billion, and an $18 million fine, now that ain't a Ripple fine. So it feels like Telegram made out a lot better than what Ripple made out. Yeah, it kind of feels like that. But my point is, the open network, the Time blockchain jungle is thriving today. It's thriving today. No reputation hit, apparently. Thriving today. Customers came back. Users came back. Builders continued to build. It's a thriving blockchain today. So if they did it, can't we? If they did it, can't we? Auntie Val? I think so. I think so. If they did it, we can do it, B. I think so. Now, what do you mean by thriving, Siege? Show us the numbers, because you said the numbers tell us the whole story. I'm going to say this again. I know I said earlier. The challenge right now with XRP entertaining content creators is they're telling a story. When you ask them to say, what's going on with the XRPL, they begin to tell you a story of the world's reserve currency. Is the DEX that's going to serve the world? They keep telling you stories. As my mentor used to say to me, I don't need a story, bro. I need the numbers. Show me your numbers. You said you talked to those many people and you made those many phone calls and you got these many people to join. Let me see those numbers. That's what he used to say to me. Let's see the numbers. How many dials you put in, right? Because the numbers tell you the whole story. Just take a look at, I'm going to take a look at DeFi Llama. I'm going to try to follow along with my guy, Dennis from Virtual Bacon. He did an interesting little thing on TradingView. I'm going to try to follow along. He went so fast and he's so familiar with it, which I am not with TradingView. So I'll try to follow along because he mentioned TON and where they're at, how they're doing, because he used TradingView and they had a unique tool on there that kind of lists the best performing assets. It lists the best performing assets along with the narratives and the whole 9 yards. It was on TradingView. We'll try to go through it. But for me, I'm going to use DeFi Llama for now and take a look at TON. Remember, stuff was over in 2020. White paper comes out 2021. It looks like they got into the game in 2022, December of 2022. At least that's when they got listed on DeFi Llama. So they might have listed prior to 2022. Let me see something else here real quick. See if we got some chart data on that TON open network token. This says we got a date of August of 2021. White paper came out in January 2021. Listing price 78 cents in 2021. In 2021. 3 years later, $7, $6, $7, $8, all-time high of $8.25. This thing is at its all-time high now. I don't know how many people were paying attention, but they had to do something to get those kind of numbers, right? So let's go over to DeFi Llama. Again, DeFi Llama didn't start tracking their TVL until December of 2022. It was 504,000 in December of 2022, Jungle. 500,000. Look at that flat line right there. In December of 2022. It didn't start going up and to the right until March of 2024, which is just 4 months. Started to do its thing. Creating network adoption, going up and to the right of the adoption curve. And boy, did it ever. 500,000. Right? You take a look at the XRPL. It says it's 12 million in TVL. 12 million. The XRPL DEX, I don't, to this day, I still have no idea what is 21.co. It says the DEX is 12 million is currently on this DEX. 12 million out of the 12.49 million. It was just hundreds of thousands. How is it 12 million now? I mean, literally, it was just 100,000. Literally. But it says XRPL DEX, 12 million. 12 million. I don't know. Where's the TVL? Where is the TVL, fam? So, again, you type in XRPL, it has one thing, the XRPL DEX. You type in XRPL, they have one thing in the ecosystem. One thing, the XRPL DEX. Again, I don't know what this cross-chain 21 thing is. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can count it. It says 265,000 TVL. But that's for 8 chains. So you really, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. 21.co. But anyway, right? When you go to TON and you search TON, take a look at this. In this short amount of time. You guys ready? Check this out. One versus for the XRPL, 20. 20. Technically, it's 18. Because whenever you see more than one chain, right? If it's on another chain, then that's different, right? So, like Bridgers, it's on 16 chains. So, and then there's another one that's on 2 chains. But think about that. They got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a platform that was sued by the United States government. 5 dexes, 6 dexes. They got 1, 2, 3, 4 liquid staking platforms. They got an RWA on their chain. They got a derivatives platform, lending platform. And by the way, 18 out of these 20 are only on the TON network, the TON blockchain, the open network. 18 out of the 20 are only on TON. And the highest performing is only 292 million, and that's Stone.5. Interesting. Got liquid staking. They got a RWA play. They got a launch pad with Wonton. Or is that, yeah, Wonton? Interesting. They got a gaming platform on there. I don't know if this is where not, where's, I thought not. I don't see not on here. It's not on here. I don't see not on here. That's interesting. I thought not was on TON. That's what I thought. Pretty sure, but I don't see it. I don't know if it's part of this. I don't think it's part of Cockfights game. But anyway, where is not? Interesting, don't you think? And this is what I say. If TON can do it, can't we do it? That's what I'm thinking. If the open network, having gone through the cloud on title madness, having gone through being sued by the United States government, having to pay disgorgement and a fine, can't we do that? Can't we do it? I say yes. I say yes. Now, for the time being, it may have to come by way of some easy to build thing by way of the EBM. But I say yes. I think a lot of things on and the works. Moy Finance is coming. Moy Finance is coming. So is a lending protocol. I think they're calling it Lotus Protocol. Now, it happens to be these things go by way of root network to get to service to the XRPL. But they're coming. I think that's an interesting case study for what's possible for the XRPL. B believes that Casino Coin is going to be the first token tracked by DeFi Llama on XRPL. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Think about what they got going over there. They got lending over there in ton. They got DEXs, they got RWA play, they got derivatives, they got a launch pad. I mean, interesting stuff. I have no thoughts on XPR, Rashad. Don't know anything about XPR. Appreciate you checking in, Rashad. I think that's a fascinating use case study. I really do. I really do. Now, Justin says, I don't know, I didn't check on TPS numbers, but Justin says that the time can do 10,000 transactions per second. This open network. I think it's an interesting case study. And I think if they can, we can too. Jungle, do you remember me making a point of only in 2024 discovering that not a lot of developers know how to build on the XRPL? Did you think that was an interesting point? Pookie, what are you saying wow about, bro? You said wow. What wow about what, Pookie? Jungle said, yes, it's a good point to know. And the reason why I say that is, what if we knew this in 2022? What if we knew this just right before the massive divide in the community began to happen? Wouldn't that help to explain some stuff? People getting on the devs getting on the people, back and forth. The entertaining content creators coming up with more and more stuff to try to keep people engaged and involved, talking their books for those who own Ripple shares. I think it would have helped to diffuse all of that. You got a lot of users saying, well, can you come up with something for us to use? Can you come up with something engaging, fun, and useful to use? That's been going on for a minute. Got a lot of XRP holders saying, there's nothing I can do. I'm not interested in NFTs. There's nothing I can do on a ledger. That's why I'm not on. What if we would have been made aware of those challenges? I would argue there would be less divisiveness than there is currently. I would argue. Nick Bella, what is that? Bellissimo. What's going on, Nick? How are you, bro? Oh, about time. Yeah. Think about the open network and what they've done in such a short period of time. Is Ripple going to try to do the Web 2 by way of Web 3 play? This is what people on Ton are doing. This is what people on Solana are doing. Can the XRPL builder do the same? But I would argue if the community knew, in fact, most people still don't know that David Schwartz said that. If the community was more aware of such a thing, I think that would help to calm some things down. And then this way, when the XRP entertaining content creator says we don't need more devs, you could just laugh at such stupidity. and madness. You could put that in the back as a reminder that dude don't know what he's talking about. Right? But we didn't discover this until 2024. Nick says, see, just dropping facts, right? So I just thought that would help. So I wanted to kind of give a good real world use case study of what's I firmly believe is coming. But we gotta get more devs educated on how to build on the XRPL. I made the argument early in this live stream. Are you trying to tell me that the devs didn't want to try to build DEXs, derivatives platforms? You're trying to tell me they didn't want to do that? Lending platforms? Maybe perhaps a launchpad or an RWA? They didn't want to do that? No, I had a back and forth with turns out this was a lady. This is a lady. And I expressed some stuff there. And she said, very, very good point. Let's take a look at her argument. This is a reference to Mr. Huber and what Mr. Huber had to say. Pookie says, I have to step it up. We all do. And as content creators, blaming the community is not the answer. Blaming the community? How is that the answer? I'm talking about your viewing community. Instead of us taking our own responsibility, where am I at here? What do I want to go to? Let's go to notifications. All right, so here we are. All right, so word on the block. Now I didn't. Looks like this is a lady. Looks like this is Michelle. So anyway, I read to you guys earlier where she said, didn't I? Maybe I did. Let's go through that again. 3, 2. All right, here it is. She said, I said this. She said, you have to forgive some XRP holders, right? Because I said, this is a $3 trillion industry in which most people do play around with their assets. So I responded to her here because she said, this dude was right. $3 trillion industry in which most people do play around with their assets. It's only the XRP holders with this mindset who want the institutions to use their assets but won't themselves, right? She says, you'll have to forgive some XRP holders and also be mindful at the same time, most crypto holders didn't have their assets on lockdown for nearly 3 years. And as a result, missed the bull run. I pointed these out in my live streams, right? Please consider if a governmental agency wasn't busy lining their pockets, but rather concentrate on the protection of its people, perhaps the XRP community would not be as skeptical about participating. She goes on to say, when the lawsuit finally ended last year and when XRP holders had control over their assets again, most had a lot of personal catching up to do. These are fair points, right? Therefore, if the community comes off a little hesitant, let's just say it's more to it than meets the eye. So I said here, I was supposed to say, those are very fair points. Forgot to put that in there. I have been an XRP holder since 2017. So every blockchain can experience buy times, some more than others. The XRPL does not have a dev problem. The devs have an XRPL problem. And then I state David Schwartz's quote here. Not a lot of people know how to build on the XRPL. Joel Katz stated. I said, RippleX is doing their part to address this. It's on the community now to do their part. This includes devs and users. Devs have only recently been given the tools to build really fun and useful stuff. The XRPL is number last in daily active users. That is on the community, which includes users. 95% of people are not using Orchestra Finance, Anados Finance, or DexFi.pro right now. Haven't been on it. Is that on the people who built that project? Of those projects, I should say. That's my point. The community of users are a little hesitant because of lack of knowledge of how to use the XRPL. We can't put that solely on the devs. I didn't learn how to do the XRPL thing from a developer. She says, very, very good point. Again, this says at Michelle, so I'm thinking, very, very good point. I concur. I said you as well. Thanks for the back and forth. And by the way, XRP entertaining content creators, that's how you do a little back and forth. That's how you do a little adulting without having to block people because you can't handle it. Take some notes. Take some notes on how to do adulting. This is something interesting, Jungle. You'll like this. Dark Horse said something, and someone responded that I thought was interesting. Take a look here. Oh, shoot. Did I share? I thought this was interesting from Dark Horse, and someone responded. Interesting response. So you know how Dark Horse is. Dark Horse is really dude's in his feelings about feeling like he was right, and everyone was bashing him because he was trying to call out some stuff, and about Ripple, and he goes down that thing. Now I respect him for willing to bring the contrarian view and to be willing to dig a little deeper and keep people accountable, to not just give him a free pass. I respect that from him, right? So he went on his, he went on this long thing here. It's long. Let's try to go through it quickly. Dark Horse said this, X this morning for Ripple News is the stablecoin, Ripple stablecoin. Let's talk about the non-regulatory compliant stablecoin that's going on. Now, Ripple X has stated that they haven't got the legal clarification for the stablecoin yet. Ripple X said that in their post about the testing on mainnet for the stablecoin. Yet he's still bringing this up because this is a dude who's trying to be right, as we like to say. But anyway, so on Ethereum and maybe a little bit on the XRPL, and get everyone pumping their conversation rather than talking about the enjoyment they just got slapped with, which in turn could stop them using the stablecoin in the United States, just like they stopped using XRP in the United States. The ODL U.S. customers were moved to stablecoins to comply with the U.S. securities ruling, right? Just stay with me on this. So there is no way to make XRP ODL compliant in the U.S. at all, he says. Instead, alternate bridging had to be completed. Or can they make it compliant? But they don't want to do the filing, as it would highlight actions being taken we as retail investors shouldn't find out. The latter has me curious. Ripple are even saying most of their internal workings are being completed by subsidiaries in Singapore. All transactions ran through this company under Singapore's regulations. So in truth, XRP is likely to not be added to any U.S. company or bank in the near future. That's an interesting statement. But maybe he's helping to get people prepared. The United States is officially off limits, he believes. Unless they comply 100% with the SEC, which I doubt they will, which looks a little shady if you ask me. Okay, so, but let's delve into the Singapore link that Monica Long discussed in her disclosure to the case. Singapore, near the end of 2023, announced its stablecoin framework. It was interlinked with the requirement for the stablecoins to be on DLTs that are OCL, Orchard Compatible Ledgers. Never heard of it. This Orchard is a blueprint that all ledgers must follow if they want to be compliant with releasing and owning a stablecoin in Singapore. Has the XRPL been granted OCL status? Don't know. Ethereum was the blueprint for this blueprint. So where does this leave Ripple stablecoin if officially not going to be usable in the US? Most of the ODL transactions being ran from Singapore. This enjoyment, the moves of Ripple already with the ODL for the US, this stablecoin, the lack of wanting to work with the US and the constant uncovering of EVM usage by Ripple to continuous financial actions and strategy. Okay, so someone responds here to this, which is, again, I mean, I don't know. This person here. I don't know who this person is. Who is this person? I don't know who this person. I think the replacement of the USDT by ODL was just after the lawsuit was filed. Later, we upgraded our product to Ripple Payments. And they call it Ripple Payments Direct. You know, I shared it with you guys. A service that does not require customers to hold crypto assets. He didn't say whether he's in the US or not, though. I am currently using XRP without selling it to customers. I don't know who this person is. I don't know what business they have. It's, you know, I don't know. It's in a different language. But I thought that was interesting. Later, we upgraded our products to Ripple Payments, a service that does not require customers to hold crypto assets. So is he part of Ripple? Or is he a customer of Ripple? I have no idea. I am currently using XRP without selling it to customers. And he, Darker says, would you mind breaking it down for us? All right, so I just sent him a link to the Ripple Payments Direct thing. But anyway, that's Dark Horse. You know, he likes to, you know, he's kind of on that, you know, I'm not believing nothing that's being said. I'm going to find out for myself. I'm going to bring counter arguments. So, I mean, I like that. I think that's fair. I don't know about trying to prove yourself right all the time, but I think that's fair. We need to have different perspectives. We can't be blindly following along. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. But I do think that response is interesting. Alex Wright's in the building. What's going on, bro? Alex Wright says Solana and Base are popular for building on. Yep. And XRPL is well behind. And we know now why. Most developers don't know how to build on the XRPL. But they're learning. EZA apps coming into the game. XRPL Common has a whole thing on Udemy for developers to learn how to build on the XRPL. XRPL Commons put that together. It's on Udemy. A developer can get it, find out about it. Yeah, did you know that? Yep. Yosef says, wow. What's going on, Yosef? B says, it says it on their webpage in tiny letters, upon stablecoin regulations, quote, unquote. Jungle says, I think it's good to remember Ripple has a general injunction not to break security laws. That's right. We all technically have this. If they land back in court and are found to break security law again, yeah. Yep. Right. And I think that's the injunction, I think, is important. I think it's important. I think her ruling and everything that she's doing is massively important. All of it. I think she's done a wonderful job. She's not going to put up with the lawyering. She's not going to put up with the games. I think that is awesome. Joseph says, just watching the charts this wonderful on Saturday. Yes, sir. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting that Dark Horse brought that up. You know, he's a guy that's not going to just take, people's word for it. He's not going to just blindly fall in line and tote the line. I think that's important. I think that's a massive lesson for us all. I really do. So Dan Rocky shared this about Kinetic Market and some utility stuff for the FLR token, which I think is interesting. We're going to try and play around with it a little bit, I guess. We'll try to hook up on Kinetic and see what we can do over there. I can tell you right now, there are people in the comments of this thread asking for videos on how to do it on Flare Networks. Right? So that how-to thing is important. So let's see here what we got going on. I don't remember the Ethereum Foundation putting out videos on how to do stuff. I just feel like it was the users that showed you how to use Uniswap and SushiSwap. Dan Rocky says, did you consider why it's a good time to lend and borrow right now on Flare Network? Because FLR is cheap right now and will likely not go much lower. And by the way, it doesn't have to be zero sum. If you got 1,000 FLR, you don't have to put 999 on there. Right? Because FLR is cheap right now and will likely not go much lower. In fact, everybody's expecting FLR to increase significantly over the coming months. Essentially, the reason why anyone is borrowing against FLR as collateral is because you don't want to sell your FLR. Everybody expects the price to go up. That provides you with a really great opportunity to borrow stable coins and stake those stable coins to make extra high rewards from Kinetic and Flare's emissions program. For those outside of the US, or if you're out there in the world trying to protect yourself and your privacy and your VPN enabled, because of that, you can get those USDX tokens on Clearpool. So that provides you with a really great opportunity to borrow stable coins and stake those to make extra high rewards from Kinetic and Flare's emissions program. And still get your Flare drops as well, like I did. Took a little bit of FLR, staked it on Scepter, took the Scepter and participated in Spark Dex. I got some emissions for being over there. Liquidity pools aren't great, but maybe they'll get better. We're going to hang out on Kinetic, see what's good over there as well. I participated. $85, man. It was just jungle was $85 worth. You don't have to do $85 worth. You do $10 worth, $5 worth, $20 worth, whatever. You don't lose it. I didn't lose any money by participating on Scepter and Spark Dex. Didn't lose any money. If you have the skills, you can do that. Not lose any money. But if you don't have the skills, you don't know what to get into. You don't understand the difference between impermanent loss and opportunity cost. You don't know what the difference between the full range is and or collateral or a what do they call that? The CLMM, concentrated liquidity market making pools. You don't know the difference. Is that on the devs that you don't understand the difference between a full range and a CLMM pool? That provides you with a really great opportunity to borrow stables and make those and stake those to make extra high rewards from Kinetic and FLR's emissions program. Soon, you'll be able to borrow USDX, which you can then stake in Clearpool's T pool. And I think, I don't know if he's talking by way of Enosis or not. My guy, Steve for Real Estate, has already done this on Clearpool. Yeah, he's already done that. He's got a video on it as well. Soon you will be able to borrow USDX, which you can then stake in Clearpool's T pool and receive 4% APY. 4% for a year. I mean, I would participate in this just to get the FLR, to get more emissions. That would be the reason why I would do it, So, because I have the skills to earn stuff other places that it's a lot more than 4%, right? We want to hang out 7 to 9% a month, right? Those things are available a month. So now you make rewards not only by borrowing, but also by staking that loan in Clearpool's T pool. Pretty impressive. And I think I responded here, said it's more than impressive. It's yet another genius move by the FLR Networks community. So let's take a little bit of a look at Kinetic market here. Again, right now, I'm not a fan of the UI UX, but hey, if people like it, people like it. Let's see if we can't find the link tree and go see what's good over there. I got my test thing, got my test wallet up here. Where is their link tree? I see Jewel, I see FLR. That's interesting. There is no link here, which is a little odd for me. I don't know what is this stuff here. I don't know what's going on here. Let me try that again. Hi. Interesting. It said you had to follow them to enable something. So let's see what's good. So what is that? Is that it? Nope. Let's see what we got going on here. Here it is. All right, so here's the link tree, it's official site. This is Discord, Telegram, connecting with Kinetic docs. Okay, so let's go to the official site. Liquidity in motion, supply, stake, borrow, work. All right. So I mean, I don't know. This is, I don't know. It's kind of first iteration stuff. I don't know what the team is looking like right now. So anyway, I know the guy has a sense of humor. I know that, but other than that, all right. So there it is. I mean, let's go to the app, see what's good. We'll go to the app together. We'll check this out together. Yosef, we'll check this out together. All right, so I'm connected. Stake to vote. Now, I think you need Joule tokens and kind of stuff like that, right? Joule and freaking key. There's a Joule token, there's a key token. All right, here's the dashboard here. My assets. Okay. Total supply, $4 million. Total borrows, $1 million. It's not bad for first, whatever, how many days, I would imagine. That's not bad. Or however long this has been up here, okay? I mean, FLR, USDC, and Tether right now. I guess those are the three collateral assets that you can supply. 3.6 million in staked FLR. 420,000 in USDC, 500,000 in USDT. All right, so this APR for USDC, a borrow APY of 5%, distribution APY is 44%. Joule tokens 4%, and then key is 19% in FLR, which is our FLR. That's the emissions. That's 19, almost 20% there. So, you know, you're going to get emissions, you're going to get key token, and you're going to get Joule. Okay. And the supplying USDC is going to give you 38% in emissions. These are some good numbers. 37% in this KII token, 11% in the Joule token. 37%. Now, I know there's a difference between the Joule and the key. I don't remember the difference, but there is some kind of difference. I felt like the KII. Let me know in the chat if you guys know the difference between Joule. Would you let us know? Would you share with us as you know the difference between the Joule and the key? I feel like one you can kind of take off the platform other places, and the other one you can't. Like, I feel like KII is a representation of the Joule that you stake. That's what it feels like to me. You stake the Joule and you get these KII tokens. It's kind of my understanding of how this works on this platform. That's kind of my understanding. But those are some pretty good APRs, right? That 38% emissions for FLR tokens is not bad, right? That's not bad. So you're going to supply USDC and supply USDT. The stake in FLR is that's a different APY, right? That's a little bit different. So they're looking like they're wanting stables. They're looking like they want people to turn their assets into stables and provide some stable coin liquidity. It's interesting that the USDX is not on here, and I'd imagine there's a reason for that. But you see it, right? Right? You see the three tokens look like you can supply. So let's go check it out together, see what's good. So I'm going to hit supply here, supply and borrow. Okay, so SFLR, USDC, USDT, FLR, WFLR. Is there a swapping going on here? You can swap. Don't see it. I see staking, supply and borrow, and rewards. Okay. So we'll just do a little test run just to kind of help you guys with supplying and borrowing, and then paying back what you borrow. So you can see here on the bottom, it says supply APY is 0.17%. Distribution is 2.26%. See some. Well, how do they explain? Annualized projected return of supply and liquidity. So what's this distribution thing? Annualized projected return in KII and Joule for supplying assets. So with the SFLR, liquid staking flare, you're earning rewards for having liquid staking flare, first of all. And then you can take that liquid stake in Flare and you can supply and earn additional yield. But it is 2%. Okay, so just understand that. It's only 2%, right? If you decide to use something other than these assets, or in other words, use your FLR and swap it into stables, you just got to understand what you're doing there, right? You just got to look at where you are on the run. You got to look at in the bull run. You got to look at that, right? You could miss out on asset appreciation. You got to factor in, that kind of stuff. Maybe it's only a percentage of your FLR. Maybe it's $5, $10 only. Maybe it's $20, $50, $100 only. That kind of thing. And you say, hey, I'm participating. I'm going to get some extra tokens for participating, and I'm going to get flare drops still, that kind of thing. So if you were going to use flare, you would wrap them, right? Not just provide flare. I would recommend wrapping the flare, because now wrapping keeps you eligible to get the flare drops, right? So you would wrap those flare. If you got them, you wrap them, and then you can supply. Let me see if I hit this WFLR, because I don't see any WFLR here. Let's see something. Let me hit that. All right. Let's see what you got. Let's see what this says here. Let's see what it says here. To supply WFLR or FLR, your assets need to be staked and converted via Scepter to SFLR. Okay, so you can't supply WFLR. You would have to take WFLR, go to Scepter and stake it, and then bring it over, I guess. By supplying SFLR, you won't miss out the flare drops and delegation rewards while participating in Kinetic. Okay, so I put it up there as a thing then. So, I don't know. Anyhow, but anyway, they had a good explanation for it. So there that is there. So we're going to supply, and we're going to borrow, and we're going to repay, just to show you what is good. All right, so like this is only like $40, right? So let's do 50%. Look, right. So see that 50% is 1920, right? Now, how much are you going to be able to borrow if you only supply 20? All right, so let's put that on. Use as collateral. Is that on? Wait a minute. Each asset used as collateral increases your borrowing limit. Please be aware that collateralized assets can be liquidated if your health factor goes to 1. Awesome. Use FLR. Enabling, it says. Let's see what's going on. So let's confirm. Waiting for block. Waiting for the transaction to be committed into the block. Okay, Kinetic market. We'll have a little conversation. All right, so it says approve and supply. So let's approve and supply. I like it to do it at, we'll see if they do this in one transaction. Let's hit it. Before supplying SFLR, you need to approve the first transaction. Okay. I'm taking a little bit back on my comments there. Okay, what do we got on the UI? I'm saying I don't like the colors, not the interaction, the colors, just the colors. Okay. 1132 SFLR, usually just bump that up 1 dot after the dot, 1 digit after the dot. So I'll do 0.4. And then you hit next. You hit approve. Approve. Please wait for, okay. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. That's a little decent. Got it going on, and that's pretty decent. I like that. All right, Kinetic. I like that. Confirm supply and transactions. All right, let's see. That's decent. I like that. I like that, Jungle. I confirm. This is first, second iterations, I guess, of this lending and borrowing. I don't know what version they're on. I like it. There it says supplied, right? It says supplied 1,132 SFLRs. $20. $20. All right, so let's close. Let's close that. I'm trying to see what the dashboard's going to look like now. All right, so I closed that out just to see. Now, it says my assets here. The staking APY for Jewel is 202%. APY? That's nice. That's nice. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying that's nice. All right, so supply SFLR 2.44%. Tells you what you know, breaking down to 2.44%. Collateral is on, right? Yes, it's on. If I want to withdraw, I can hit withdraw here. But we're not going to withdraw, we're going to borrow. We might borrow 50 cents. All right, all right. All right, got that there. Market assets, 4 million. Not bad, total supply. Total borrow is 1 million. All right, so there that is there. All right, so we got to go back, it looks like, to the supply and borrow. And we got to click over here on borrow, it looks like. And it's going to tell us what we can and cannot borrow here. All right, so I supplied $19. It says I can borrow 13. Now, do you want to borrow $13? No. You don't want to borrow your max that's available because you put yourself in liquidation mode. I like to hang out that 25 to 35%. And if I have to in some particular situation, maybe I don't have any access to dirty, nasty powder or something, you know, I'll go up to 50% type deal. Then I'm on alert all the time. But that's kind of how I do it. So there it is there. It says I can borrow 13. I'm going to borrow $1. I don't know if that'll count for anything. Let me see if I do $5, how much is that? Let's see what $5 says. All right, so it says $5 value. Oh, that's $5. Is that $5? Was that SFLR? I don't know what we got going on there. And what am I borrowing when I borrow here? Am I borrowing dollars? Okay, let's not do that. Let's go back to supply here. Let's see if we can't figure something out here. I supply SFLR. Okay, what am I borrowing? Can I borrow stables? Let's see here. Anybody know in the chat? Let me see. Somebody said they did some. Oh, that was the earlier stream. Somebody said they were providing liquidity. You don't like SparkDex, B? I like SparkDex. See how that is? You like Spark? You don't like SparkDex? I like SparkDex. You probably like Kinetic. Pay me an XRP says you don't need to go to Scepter. You convert straight from Kinetic. How do you do that? And also, if you supply, what does it say here? Oh, it says the cap's been met. Oh, bummer. Okay, well, that's a major bummer. Oh, I got you. So the cap has been met. They have a cap limit for the borrowing of stable coins because the APRs are so ginormous right now. And so you kind of have to monitor. How can I see if the cap is at a particular thing? I don't see that here. All right, it says move the toggle bar all the way over. Just click on the FLR bar in the borrow, and you'll see the different options of what you can borrow. Okay, thank you. Borrow. There's borrow. What top bar are you talking about? I'm borrowing here. Oh, wait a minute. If I just did this, okay, there it is. You just go to whatever stable you want to borrow. Can I borrow? It says 10. I don't want to borrow it. Is that $10.20? I don't want to borrow that. What's this X over here for? That's saying the health factor is not great, right? Yeah, I don't want to do that. So let's go down. It says I can borrow USDC, bro. There we go. This health factor, you want that thing to be, high, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it goes up to. You want it to be high. Let's see if it can go higher if I do this. See, it's 11. See up here? Health factor after borrowing, 11.11, right? If I just borrow $1, okay, that's good. I like that. I get it now. I see. You have to toggle down to see what you could borrow. I didn't. There it is. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to borrow $2, right? Let's borrow $2. I'm just doing this to show you how to do it. I would rather supply stable coins. Personally, I'd rather find some dirty, nasty fiat and supply stables. All right, so we got a 2, got a health factor of 6.0. That's not bad. $2 health factor. I'm gonna borrow and redeposit. All right, so and pay off the loan. But I just wanted to show you guys. So health factor after borrowing. I like it. Okay, Kinetic. All right, I see you. I see you. So remember, I supplied $19 and my available to borrow was $13.61. See up there? 13 out of the 19, right? I'm going to borrow $2. Tells you my health factor. You don't want to get anywhere near 1. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near 1. 3, 4. You don't want to get anywhere near 1. Bear or bull market, quite honestly. Just want to, and you'll get better skilled and seeing where the market is and all that kind of stuff like that. But 30% pullbacks in a bull run happen frequently in a bull run. So yeah, you don't want to take chances. Right? So, all right. So $2, can I borrow? It's not letting me borrow. So is the thing full? You might be right. It's full because I can't borrow. It let me start like I could be able to borrow, but it ain't letting me borrow. Yep, can't borrow. So it's full, but you can see the numbers. I just need to know, how do you find out that the cap is on and you can't borrow? Do you guys know about that? How do I just log on here and know that the borrowing of USDC and USDT is capped? Anybody know? Zoom into USDT. Nope, it doesn't. So there, I'm not going to borrow anything else. I just want to see what that looks like there. So that's cool. All right, so that's not bad. I give that like a 6 or 7 out of 10 overall. How do you know when the cap is reached? Pay me an XRP. Does that say anywhere here? Like you can check back and see. I don't see anything that says cap reach or anything like that. Borrow cap 250,000. 250,000 is the cap. Okay. So 250,000 is the borrow cap. So you had to be on this thing like immediately. You could probably try checking in once or twice a day. But yeah, that's done. 250 is the cap there for USDC. And it looks like probably 310 for USD Tether. There it is. So we can't borrow right now, man. It's a major bummer. We can't borrow stables right now from supplying on here. You can't borrow. You can supply, but you can't borrow. So you can supply and take the supply. Wait a minute. No. Hold on a second. Let me check this again. Let's see what's going on. Is the supply thing met as well? Borrow, supply. All right, let me see something. I don't have anything, so it's not going to let me do that. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. I just want to see. It says approved and supply, but I don't have any USDC to see. So that's the borrow cap that's been met, right? That's not the supply, right? The cap has been raised. So is the supply cap met or just the borrowing cap pay me an XRP? The supply cap is endless. Okay, so there it is. So if you got some dirty, nasty fiat or you want to supply some FLR, wrap, whatever. How do you do it? You said you can do it and not have to leave Kinetic. All I see here is supply and borrow and stake. So what other things can you do here from Kinetic, from this? What's that? Add tokens to wallet. Okay. I'll do that. I'll add Jewel. What other things can we do here, Pay Me an XRP? You said I can do it from here. I'm going to add that token. And I'm going to add key. Add USDC. .e. Add USDT tether. Is that going to be T.E? No, that doesn't say T.E. It says just regular tether. Add a token. All right. So okay. So UI UX not bad. So pay me an XRP. What do you got for me, bro? You said I can do some stuff from here. The supply cap is endless. B says vote. Like vote, Siege. When you click supply, if you had FLR, which I do in your wallet, you can convert them to SFLR from Kinetic. Huh. I got you. But I want to supply USDC, though. I want to supply USDC. What kind of FLR and USDC? I mean, USDT and US thing is this? What's the exchange here? All right. So this is my little test thing, right? So this is Flare USDC and Flare USDT. So let's pull up SparkDex and see. Because let's see if we can do that, fam. Let's see if we can do that. SparkDex. Because I want some I want some. I can't believe you don't like SparkDex, bro. I can't believe you don't like the way SparkDex looks. All right, now we can go to the swap section over here. And we can swap some some FLR. My FLR. I like $5 FLR. What I got there? Oh, that's only 18 cents. Oh man, that's not gonna work. Bummer. That's only 18 cents. Okay. That's not gonna work. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see. I'll have to not borrow. I have to spend some crypto, get some FLR, send the FLR, swap the LR for some USDC or a T, depending upon the thing. All right, so what do I want here? I want FLR. And I can swap that for stables, right? Whoa, what we got going on here? It says bridged USDC and bridged USDT. So if I swap that, that's what I'm going to get. Bridged USDC and bridged USDC. All right, so if I hit max, I probably can't do a trade of 12 cents, but in any case, says it can. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so that's what I would need to do. All right, that's cool. I kind of like in the AP stuff for supplying. I gotta be honest with you. I'm liking it. All right, let's see here. Let's go back to I kind of like the numbers. So I don't do that. Let's go here. Supply APY 89% for USDC and 72% for Tether. I kind of like that APR. APY, kind of like it. I get some Jewel tokens. I don't have any Jewel. I get some key tokens and I get some emissions. I kind of like it. This is the opportunity cost. There's things that you factor in, right? Take a little bit of something and you can participate and get some other stuff. Or dirty, nasty fiat. And get stables. Dirty, nasty fiat and get stables. If you want to do it that way, you can do that. I would no, it says bridged. So I don't know how you do that way. It says bridged USDC and bridged USDT from Kinetic. But I'd imagine you can, because it's FLR USDC. So the thing would probably be, instead of adding to your FLR bags, take some portion of that dirty, nasty fiat that you would normally use to buy FLR, right? Get some FLR tokens, send it to your MetaMask wallet from Kraken Exchange. I would recommend Kraken. Definitely recommend Kraken. And then you can send it to your FLR MetaMask. And then you can hop on SparkDex and you can swap that FLR for one of these tokens and supply it there. Yeah, you could do that, right? Now, let me know if you guys want me to do that. I have a little bit of dirty, nasty fiat on Kraken. It's like a couple $100. I can do that. I can get some FLR tokens. I can get $10, $20 worth of FLR tokens. Show you guys how to do that. Let me know if you'd like me to do that. I can do that. Hour and 40 minutes. Oh man. B said it looks like Orchestra UI, Orchestra Finance UI. Payment XRP says, you want to see me borrow and repay? Okay. So, yeah, well, I can't borrow and repay. Let's see. Can I do that? I can supply, but I can't borrow, right? Because the borrow cap's been met. So I can only supply. Oh, with SFLR. I don't wanna. Oh, you're saying I could supply the stable and borrow SFLR. Oh, yeah, but okay. Right, that's true. I am getting the supply APY. Okay, let's just see. Let's do that for a hot minute. All right, let's see. I have some dirty nasty fiat, I believe, on Kraken. Let me do that. Hold on a second. I got dirty nasty fiat on Kraken, and it's asking me to sign in. Oh, God. What the world? All right, I gotta sign in the Kraken. Jungle, have you tried the Kraken exchange, bro? Jungle, are you still here? Have you tried Kraken? Let's see. I think I got dirty nasty. Like I got stables on here, I think. Yeah, I got some stables. I'm gonna do like $20 and just to see so I can at least borrow $1. Okay. Uh I have USDC on here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see. Let's see if we can do that. All right. I like the Kraken exchange. I was talking with a guy. This dude's got like 100K in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and or more, and he's got some XRP. And the dude didn't know you could get XRP in the States again. I'm like, yeah, you can get XRP in the States. All right, so let me see if we can't get FLR with USDC. I like the Kraken exchange. I recommend it over Coinbase for trading. Flares on here, right? Nope, dollars. All right, so that's not gonna work. So we're gonna have to do USDC. USDC, $20. What do we got here? Sell. I'll just do, yeah, I got $140. So I'm gonna do 22. Sell USDC, $22. Sell that. Look how fast that thing is moving. All right. So now I have $22 in or so in US dollars. So now we're going to go back to Flare, search for the FLR token right here. I'm telling you, I like the Kraken, Pro and normal. Obviously, I like the Pro better, but buy FLR. I have $21.95. So I'm going to add that there. You see that? I'm going to add that. It's on market. You could do limit if you want. I don't do limit unless I'm selling, like exiting into some dirty, nasty fiat. All right, so it's on market. I'm going to buy $22 worth of FLR. 1,368 FLR tokens, confirm. I should have showed you guys the fee. It was so cheap. Damn it. Shit. I forgot to show you the fee. But anyway, Kraken is, I don't want to say significantly cheaper, but it's cheaper than Coinbase. All right, so now we can go to portfolio up here, top left, go to portfolio. We have some FLR tokens in here. We got some little bit of BTC. You always want to use more than one exchange for your dollar cost average strategy, by the way. Always want to use more than one. So I use Kraken, I use Coinbase for the DCA strategy of Bitcoin, for the DCA strategy. All right, so, oh, Bitcoin's at 61 now. How about that? So 61,000 now. Okay, well, I had a chance to buy $140 worth of BTC or stables. I bought the stables because of paying down a borrow position. I wanted to just have it and go. So that's why I did that. But anyway, so we got FLR here. You see that? FLR got $21.88 worth. So let's withdraw that. Let's do the max. And you sure there's no difference in converting that FLR to SFLR on I feel like I want to still do it on liquids on Scepter. I don't know. We'll see. All right. I don't have any addresses on here, huh? I guess I don't have any addresses on here. That's not it. Let's go. Let's see. Let's do that. I think that's it. All right, so do that. The fee is 6 FLR. This is the fee to send it. 6 FLR. What is that? 6 cents? 7 cents? That's not, I mean, it's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's not, it's okay. It's not great fee to withdraw. Because it's only $20, so it's not a great fee. All right, so let's do that. Let's use my security key. Done. Done, son. Pretty quick, right? 1357. So we'll wait for that to show up, see how long it's going to take. I don't know, man. I feel like I want to go over the Scepter. He's like, do it in Enosis. If you have it, I don't do what on Enosis. I haven't messed around with Enosis. B says Flare's ecosystem is like Japan's negative interest rate incentives. It's like stealing money, right? Swap your SFLR for DNF. What is that, dude? All right, so that should show up pretty fast. There it is. It's there, right? Oh, Dirty Nasty Fiat. Swap the SFLR for Dirty Nasty Fiat. I hear you, my guy. All right, so I don't know. I'm gonna go to Scepter, man. I don't know if I want to convert stuff. Let me see. I don't know. So you're saying if I just hit supply here, supply, and I go to FLR, it's 21, 22 bucks. Okay, it's saying stake FLR on Scepter. Okay, so they have a little thing right there. I got you. Okay, that works. Let's go max. Thanks for the notice. Okay, I like that. It says stake FLR on Scepter. So that means I'm gonna write this down. Some SFLR, more SFLR. I'm doing this for the fans at home. There's a lot of people saying we need to know how you do this, man. How do you do it? Like people don't know. All right, so 1369.0998. All right, so I'm going to do that state. I like these little notices here. I like it. Okay, Scepter. Okay, I like it. By staking your FLR or WFLR receptor protocol, you're converting them into SFLR. This not only secures your flare drops and delegation rewards, but also ensures you fully benefit for participating in Kinetic's ecosystem. What if Scepter becomes the Lido of flare networks? I mean, you never know. You never know. 0.10. Okay. So confirm. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying. I don't know. I'm just saying there's something about you don't have enough FLR. What the world's going on right now? What do you mean you don't have enough FLR? Okay, so I can't stake the max FLR. So let's cancel that. Let's do 1350 of my FLR. Let's do that. What is that? No, let's not. Let's do 1300. Let's do that. 1300. 1300 even. Stake. Confirm. Why does it keep saying I don't have enough for transaction fees? How much is this transaction going to cost? How many FLR is this thing going to cost? What's going on? Try this again. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not happy right now. What's going on? I don't have enough FLR. Let's do 13. I did 1300 already. You said that was no good. What's going on? Oh, that's not a good number. 2. I was trying to stay at 20 bucks, man. Try this again. There it is. $20.85 total. So that they're making a little cha-ching there, Kinetic, on doing that. They're making a little ka-ching on that for providing this service. Okay, they're making a little ka-ching there. Total says 1925. Okay, so we'll see. See, it failed. It failed. All right, we're just gonna go to freaking Scepter. We're just gonna go to Scepter. We're just gonna have to go to Scepter, man. I tried it. I tried it. I don't know what happened there. I tried to stay. I tried it. I tried. What? What happened to the available amount of stake now? What happened? Did it work? And it told me it didn't work. This is saying they all failed. What's going on? They failed transactions. This is saying I only have 69 FLR left. So what happened? Did that conversion thing work? I don't know what happened, fam. I don't know what happened. You see, it says I only have 69 FLR. So what happened there? What happened? It looks like it went to WFLR. Okay, so maybe that's how they do it. They do it to WFLR. All right, so let's see, because I had SFLR and WFLR, but now the amounts. No, that's not right because I don't know. See, it says I have no WFLR. Let me refresh. So this says it confirmed here that 1300 went through. Slide. So maybe it did work. So what am I doing? I'm supplying SFLR and no, what am I doing? I want to supply USDC and borrow SFLR, right? I thought that's what I was doing. SparkDex. SparkDex. See, I don't know. It feels like something is not correct here. Because this is only 80 bucks here between these two, and I already had 80 bucks between these two. Like I already did. And I just got $20 of FLR. Now I only have $1. Just feels like there's $20 missing. Or $19 missing. I feel like there's $19 missing somewhere because these numbers are what I had before and wrapped in SFLR from providing liquidity on SparkDex. But let me refresh SparkDex. See, that number hasn't changed. Yeah, it's something. It's disconnecting, reconnect. I'm missing like $19 of FLR tokens. That's what it feels like. Just disconnect. That's what it feels like. It's feeling like that's what happened. Yeah, see? That's 1300 FLR. Because I already had these already, wrap flare and stake flare. I already had it. I already had it. So let's go over here to Scepter and see what's going on. See if Scepter says, let's see here. Yeah, I feel like some of the FLR is not there. Because I already had this amount of SFLR staked. Like I already had that from liquidity pool earlier. Yeah, I guess I have to figure that out because that's not 2600. Ooh, estimated WFLR if unstate 26. Okay. Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like, man. Yeah, because I had roughly $85 worth already. Go to the WFLR box. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I already had the WFLR, right? Because I was in the SFLR WFLR pool, which is where I was. All right, so I already had this amount. So what I'm saying is when I went to Kinetic and converted, what happened there with that $20 of FLR? Right? I'm right about that, right? I'm pretty sure. Because again, I already had this amount of WFLR from the liquidity pool that I was in on SparkDex. Because I just used like $85 worth of stuff and did the trade. It says here, scroll down and insert your contribution. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so that's what happened. Something happened with the $20 of FLR. I mean, it said it failed, but it's not there. Yeah, I'll have to find it. I have to see what happened. I'll have to see what happened there. So I won't be able to do that now. Let me go over to Kinetic. Yeah, that's a bummer. Because you guys saw I got 1,368 FLR tokens. This says that 1,300 FLR was submitted. That left me with 69 FLR, which is what I have left. So I should have an extra 1,300 SFLR. And I don't. But I'll figure it out. Yeah, because I think this was the liquidity pool. So I understand why this failed, but they're saying this one went through for 13 FLR, $20 worth. But it's not showing up in my tokens. Because this is $40 and this is $40 and this is roughly what I had. So I'll have to check this transaction. Minus 1300 FLR. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 12 minutes ago for 1222 SFLR to 1300 WFLR. This is the S flare, the WFLR. I did FLR. Yeah, so something happened when I tried to convert here. Let's see. See, this is saying this is the only FR I have left. So anyway, I'll check with them. I'll check with them and see what happened. I'll check with them and see what happened because I don't know what happened. Because you remember the first 2-3 times it failed because I said I didn't have enough. And I had to bump the number down so that the transaction would go through from 1300, I think, to 1200 FLR. Anyway, I have to look into it and see. I'll figure it out. It's only $20, but I got to figure it out because something doesn't seem right there. Like there's $20 missing. So I'll share the transactions with the people over at Kinetic, with the people over Kinetic, and see what happened there because for my data, it didn't work. All right, so let's withdraw this SFLR. Wait a minute. That is right. Because I supplied some of the SFLR. So that is right. That is right. All right. So let's go here. That is, which one do I want to use? SparkDex. So that is right. I know what happened. So that is right. SFLR, what are we doing? We're going to supply USDC. So we're going to swap. If I got SFLR right now, I can just borrow. I want to do, let's withdraw first. Let's withdraw. Max. So it's right. It was right. B, it was right. I forgot about this SFLR that I deposited with just the depositing only. So it's right. It's right. So let's withdraw this. B said rugged live. Rugged on live television. All right, I hit confirm. All right. So I forgot about this SFLR that I initially deposit just to test. So I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to swap some FLR for USDC. I'm going to supply USDC and borrow SFLR. All right, there it is. Sorry for the confusion, guys. I got it now. I figured it out. It's going to go to SparkDex, and we're going to swap some FLR. We're going to do 20 bucks worth. Why does it not? All right. 1139. 1929. That's about right. It's going to swap some SFLR for $19 and change of USDC, bridged USDC E. So I swap it. Confirm the swap. Hey, B, that was right, bro. It was right. It went through. I messed up. Oh, I forgot about the initial SFLR that was unaccounted for. So that does work. Using kinetics to do it does work with the FLR. You can stake using Scepter on Kinetic. It did work. So I swapped it. See that? I swapped the SFLR for USDC. Swap submitted. This should be green here in a second. Again, this is probably my internet more so than anything. So I did that, right? So now I have $19.36 in USDCE, which is bridged flare USDC, right? Bridged over. All right. So now we're going to go over to Kinetic. We're going to go to supply. We're going to supply USDCE. There it is, $19.36. We're going to supply that. We're going to supply the maximum. We're going to approve and supply. Okay. So I'm going to do waiting. We got 19 pre-patient. I mean, you can't be impatient. You just got to just wait. Again, we're helping to, for them to stress load test and all that kind of stuff when we participate in these things as well. So you got to remember that, right? It's not about getting some APR, APY. It's not just about that. You're also contributing to the ecosystem by helping them figure out some kinks, some bugs. The more people use it, the more they can check the analytics and see how stuff works. It says transaction is completed. Supplied USDC. All right, so it was approve and supply. So let's confirm. $61K for Bitcoin. All right, so let's close it. And we can look at the dashboard. You can see I got some USDC. It's on, right? Wait a minute. It says USDC, use it. Please confirm your wallet. We're going to use USDC as collateral to borrow some SFLR. And all this time, I'm not sharing my screen. You guys, have I been not sharing my screen this whole time? How long have I not been sharing my screen? How long have I not been sharing my screen? Golly. Good. Liquid staking is going to be a learning curve. Yeah. How long have I not been sharing my screen? Did you guys see me do the swapping and stuff? Man. All right. So I was on SparkDex. I don't know if they saw that B, but I swapped some SFLR for USDC. I swapped that SFLR for USDC which is just bridged FLR using Stargate, right? It's done for you. So I did that. And then I went to Kinetic and I supplied the USDCE that I had here. You toggled the USDC and you supply. I've already done it, but I don't think you guys saw that. So after I did that, you have to approve one transaction and then supply the other transaction. 2 transactions for the supply, approving the spend of USDC and supplying. And then you make sure that your collateral is on, because initially it defaults to off as being able to be used as collateral. So now it's on. So now it's on to be used as collateral. So now I'm going to go back here and I am going to borrow SFLR. It says, am I in borrow? Borrow SFLR. What's it saying? Health factor is 100. And it says out of the $19.37 supplied here for USDC, see that? 1937, see my mouse here, right? On the right? Out of the $19.37, I can borrow $17.43. I'm not going to do that, right? So let's check the health factor when I put $2 in here. I'm putting, no, that's 2 SFLR. That doesn't make sense. Let's go. I don't know what $2 is going to look like. 500 SFLR is $8. Nope, not doing that. 200 SFLR is $3. I want to do, did I just do 200? I want to do $2. I'm gonna do 175. $2.99. Goodness gracious. Let's do 100. $1.71. 150. 256. So that's $1.88, right? So that's just an example. So this is the amount you put here is the amount of the token that you have here. All right. So 110 SFLR is what I'm going to borrow. See this health factor up here? Health factor after borrowing 9.28, right? You don't want to go anywhere near 1. Nowhere near 1. You get the 1, it's like a liquidation event, right? So I'm borrowing at 110 SFLR. I love playing around with these things, by the way. I love playing around with these things, but I gotta make a mental note of that. Borrowed 110. I know I could go back to the dashboard and look, I know. All right, so borrowed 110 SFLR, right? So I'm gonna hit borrow. And it just tells you what you're gonna be earning for borrowing. 1.2% annualized, 3.6.96 for in key and jewel for borrowing, right? Because I'm borrowing SFLR. Man, I hope they keep raising that cap. I guess you're gonna have to stay in the know with Kinetics. How do you get word of when they're raising the cap? Do they do it on Twitter or are they do it in a Discord for borrowing USDC? All right, so $1.88, right? I'm borrowing $1.88. I did this on Solana ecosystem. I did it on Solana ecosystem. $50 deposit, just borrow. All to get airdrop tokens and that kind of stuff. Participate in helping them stress test their stuff. So I'm going to hit borrow. 110 SFLR. These are nominal, right? 0.015 FLR. 0.015 FLR. Close. Look at that. Nice. Okay, like that. See? Borrowed. I can repay right away. We'll borrow and supply. I can just repay right away, right? I just borrowed it. I can pay it right back. I just borrowed 110. I can pay it right back. Right. Now I'm gonna do another video about this tomorrow, so I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not gonna repay. But that's how simple it is. This is how simple it is to do this kind of stuff here. There's a little bit of other stuff you need to know. Let's check out the dashboard. Total supply, $19.37. Total borrowed is $1.88. Staking APY for Jewel, when we get some. It's 202%, which is pretty sweet. No unclaimed rewards at the moment, and motion voting deadline. What can I? You got to have Jewel to vote, don't you have B? You have to have Jewel to vote. See, or no? In order to vote, V, do you have to have Jewel? I think you have to have Jewel, right? Jewel or Key to vote. I appreciate you guys hanging in there while I was figuring out my dilemma that was not really a dilemma. The dilemma was I forgot that I deposited some SFLR in the beginning. Forgot I did that. Yes, sir. So you got to have Jewel to vote. All right. So look, I'm liking it right now. I'm liking SparkDex AI. I really like SparkDex. I really like SparkDex. I really like SparkDex. I really like SparkDex. And Kinetics was pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth there, right? It's pretty smooth. So I'm kind of liking it, right? Tomorrow I'm gonna do this as well. Just to show you guys how simple it is. Again, this stuff is, this stuff and learning these skills, it's on the community to do so. It really is. If you got, everybody's got to make their own decisions on who their teachers are. But if you got people that are just there to hope you up, if you're good with that, you're good with that, right? But this whole idea of trying to blame the devs for you not knowing how to do a thing, you know what I'm saying? You got to know your teachers. You have to know your teachers. Some people are there to just tell you a story. All right. So Payme XRP says it's all good. You are appreciated, Siege. Thank you, Payme XRP. I appreciate that. B says, I'm actually going through the motions on SparkDex now, swapping for Jewel. Nice. I like SparkDex, man. I really do. I like it. I like it. I like the information. I like the features. For a first iteration, it's right up there with Turbos. It's right up there with Orca. It's right up there with oh my God, the thing with the K. I always forget the name of it. What is the name of the thing with the K? I always forget the freaking name of it. I can't believe I did. Anyway, first iteration is really, really good. You're right. B says you're right. It may be the next Lido. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know, right? The idea is if you're blessed enough to be early in the know of a next level layer one, like FLR network blockchain, if you're blessed enough to be in the know and you discover the first liquid staking, the first DEX, the first lending, and they happen to win the game. In other words, they continue to iterate and get better in those things. If you participate in those early on and follow them and go on the journey with it, it tends to work out in your favor. It really does. So B says, great session, Siege. Thanks, Payme XRP too. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you hanging out to the end there, the long duration end. So there it is again. And I'm gonna, I'll be doing another video tomorrow because it's on, it's up to us to, level up our skills, and you just gotta have someone willing to show you how to do it. That's all. Just gotta have someone to be willing to walk through it, show you how to do it. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, B. I think that FLR token is going to be doing some things. I'm getting the Solana ecosystem vibes from FLR Networks, and FLR Networks is in their own lane doing their own thing. It's kind of how I'm feeling about that. Really am. All right, family, there it is. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys big time. I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to end this one like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See you.
Bye.
Bye.